When we think of Chinese chronographs, there's only really one watch that comes to mind. That's right, the Seagull 1963 Pilot. It's classic and it's simple. But what if I told you there was a new competitor on the market that has an incredible design, along with a case material that you've probably never seen in a budget watch before? This is the latest Voyager chronograph from Boderry, and you really need to see this one to believe it. My name's Jason, I'm your watch guy today. Let's get into it. Straight out of the gate, you can see exactly why this watch is completely different to pretty much anything else that you've seen. The casing is insane. Just like the previous models, it is a titanium case, but this one has a cerekote coating, which is a ceramic-based finish that gives this beautiful blue tone, as well as being a more resilient, wearable material. But honestly, I'm just all about these aesthetics. That beautiful blue tone really highlights the case, as well as making it an instant standout. But they've also used a few other little tricks to make this one really pop. One of those being the bright red reset pusher, obviously accenting the blue incredibly. The curves to those lugs definitely remind me of those Speedmaster turned lugs that I love. Certainly not a bad thing, but definitely a more bulky type of look. We do have the inclusion of crown guards here, which protect that manual wind crown, which is also signed with the Boderry logo. It has a good level of grip, which makes that manual wind function much easier. I will be honest, the case size is probably something for you to consider. Now, the 40mm diameter is absolutely perfect for myself and many others. And along with that, with the depth to the dial and the movement being used here, I expected it to be a little bit more chunky. 12mm, completely fine by me. So what you really need to consider is the lug to lug distance, and this one almost tips over my absolute maximum scale, coming in at 49.5mm. Personally, it is comfortable for me, but I do often wear watches that would be considered bigger than I should for my wrist. So if you're looking for that more classic type of fit, maybe not. These lugs are longer and more pronounced than many. This is a mechanical chronograph movement which steps up the game instantly. But this is the budget market, so you know what it'll be. The ST19 is a go-to for any budget chronograph. It's lovely to see through the display case back, and it's even better to see that Boderry have actually modified the movement slightly. You can see their brand in there, and that's not something many other brands really do. Seriously, can we just take a second to appreciate that movement? How on earth is this in the budget category? The domed fixed bezel meets that flat sapphire crystal perfectly, whilst also giving a bit more presence to the case overall. And we are packing 100 meters of water resistance here. Not something I expected in a chronograph with a pull push crown. The dial is a much more classic field style design, which I think works really well with this piece. The subdial hands accent that red pusher beautifully, and they come with a more vintage tone with that square counterbalance. As well as that, the intricate minute track to the outer edge of this dial matches really well with the subdials, making the entire design flow together. We know that numerals on a dial are some of my favourite things, and it works well with this cross between a field style watch and a chronograph, I think. The handset isn't exactly my favourite, but it works really well. I'm not sure about being a fan of the aged blue mixture, but I'm glad that it's got really decent borders to it, as well as being a very suiting diamond shape which matches that field aesthetic. The chronograph hand sweeps beautifully throughout the dial. It's highlighted heavily with it being that white pop, but it has a red tip and that accents the tones throughout the dial and the case beautifully. The lume is spread through the handset and the dial, and honestly I didn't expect it to be as good as this. Personally, I expected them to lume the handset and the points to the minute track, but they've actually gone the entire way and done the numerals and the inside numerals, those 24-hour numerals, which really steps up the game a little bit. As well as that's a very well spread application, and you definitely get a pop to that lume. It's very visible, works perfectly, and they definitely get a pass from me. The band is a single pass nylon band. Definitely comes with that military type of look, but that colour matches into the case absolutely perfectly. I will say though, it does add some heft to the watch, making it that little bit thicker once again. I do also like that they've added red accents with that strip through the centre, and these substantial keepers obviously work really well. They've even signed that buckle, but this is where I start my downsides. As I say, the band adds heft to the case and it doesn't have any taper to it. Makes you feel like you're wearing a much chunkier watch than it actually is. Personally, I'd love to see this on many other two-piece bands. It will, one, bring down the chunkiness of the case, but it will also allow us to display that beautiful movement through the display case back. With this one, we're just blocking that beauty. As well as that, this may not be to everyone's case, you know, it is quite brash with that blue tone to the case. But for me, I absolutely love it. And if it isn't to your taste, they do have the titanium variants still available. They are even cheaper than this one. But when you consider that in the 1111 sale, this one is around £250, I think it's a stunning deal. Especially considering if you want to get this type of look, you're going to have to start looking towards the ceramic market, and those prices are astronomical. As I said, this is on sale for around £250. Again, the titanium variant, even cheaper, and then again after that, the three-handed variant, even cheaper again. You can find all of them through the link below. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciated having this watch in for review. One that I've spotted a few times on my social media feeds and just thought, that's my type of thing. It's a beauty and it's so different from so many other pieces that I get to see. If you're interested, it is linked down in the description below. I also have plenty of other really useful links down there for you to go and have a look at. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more watch content, and I'll see you in the next one.